There's nothing better than coffee and whipped cream just all over your face, right? It's fine. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. I am gonna be making you one of my all-time favorite coffee mocktails. I like to call it the snow cap. I know what you're saying, it's in the middle of summer. Why am I making something called a snow cap? The snow cap is like a California winter in a cup. As I'm filming this, it is like 100 degrees outside, and I could not be wishing and hoping for fall and winter to just like hurry up and show up. And so the way that I'm kind of like wishing that into existence right now is by making my favorite coffee mocktail, which is the snow cap. I'm gonna show you everything that's needed in it. I call it a California winter in a cup because it's still warm enough outside to drink something cold, but then you're also wanting something reminiscent of what we really enjoy seeing throughout the winter, which is our snow-capped mountains. So it might be warm and sunny where I am, but when I look out the window, I can see those California mountains with a little bit of snow on top. That is what inspired this delicious beverage. Anything that I make, I prefer to keep the ingredient list as minimal as absolutely possible. One, because it's so much easier, and two, because I feel like that's a healthier option anyways. So let me share with you what is in the snow cap. We have got rosemary. That right there is what really reminds me of being in the mountains. You have kind of like that pine scent, that woodsy aroma, and rosemary is just so delectable in so many of our delicious, holiday, winter sort of beverages. And it happens to be really, really delicious in coffee as well. I'm also, what I like to call the snow is right here. It's an infused whipped cream, and I'm gonna teach you how to make that too, but it's just absolutely delicious. It tastes like, well, we'll get to that in a second. You wanna add a little bit of sweetener into this beverage. One of my favorite all-time sweeteners is actually a maple syrup. And Trader Joe's once a year comes out with one of my favorites, which is a bourbon barrel-aged maple syrup. It just adds an extra dimension to it, which is just so good. That is almost it. One of the main ingredients, of course, is coffee. So I like to cold brew coffee for this beverage because you can really control the concentration of how strong you want it. I like having the concentrate just a little bit extra strong because I'm gonna put some ice cubes in there too. And I want that beverage to still be really delicious for however long it takes you to sip and enjoy it, and not diluted by the ice cubes. It's so easy. You can either buy it at your favorite grocery store, there's so many options, or you can also bring your favorite coffee, and I just cold brew it in a French press, which is super easy to do. And I'm gonna share the link to that video as well, so I can teach you how to make it at home also. And there is an added fun little sparkly element to this, which makes it feel a little bit more on the, summery side. It may sound a little bit crazy, but I'll also put a little bit of sparkling Pellegrino in there. You can choose like any sparkling water, of course, of your choice. I'll be putting that in the bottom of the cup, and it's just adds a different fun sparkle and dimension to it. We've got the rosemary sprigs, we've got the delicious bourbon barrel aged maple syrup, and then of course we have our cold brew concentrate, and then we're gonna need the actual snow, which is the rosemary infused whipped cream. Okay, so that's all you need for this delicious beverage. Okay, so let's make the snow first. All you're gonna need is simply add like depends on how strong you want it and how long you have to infuse this whipped cream. I'll usually just simply add like 2 to 4 little rosemary sprigs in your container, okay? So we've got 2 to 4 right here, putting them in a fun bowl. And that's what we're gonna start with first. Now, what I will say real quick, so for the rosemary sprigs, fresh is always better. So I know there might be some dried options too. I would definitely go for one of those like living herbs that you can find at the grocery store. Like today, I just picked up this one, super simple. You can usually find it at the grocery store right here. We've got 2 to 4 sprigs in here in this fun little bowl. And then we're gonna go ahead and add, I'm terrible at measuring. I really don't measure very often, but I would guesstimate it's about 3 to 4 teaspoons of maple syrup into our whipped cream concoction. Let's just go ahead. I've got my bourbon barrel aged and I've got a teaspoon. It's rare for you to see this in my hand, but for the sake of this fun little recipe, let's do it. Okay, so we've got 1. This also depends on like how sweet you want it too. I don't really need the whipped cream to be very sweet. So honestly, I'm probably gonna do about like 2.5 teaspoons. You're also gonna sweet up the iced coffee too. So the snow only needs to have kind of like a subtle sweetness to it. And then you're just gonna get heavy whipping cream, whatever heavy whipping cream of your choice. And we're gonna go ahead and add, depending on how many beverages you're making, I would say like 8 to 16 ounces of the heavy whipping cream. Again, I'm just gonna kind of free pour it here. You can absolutely measure. And then this is the fun part, okay? This is where you have all the ingredients in here that you need. You've got your maple syrup, you've got your fresh rosemary sprigs, and you've got your heavy whipping cream. That's all you need for this delicious, delicious snow, okay? Okay, so this is what you're gonna do with this. We're infusing the whipped cream, and what I recommend is to put it in an airtight container and then just refrigerate it anywhere from like 12 to 18 hours. I know that's where you have to be patient and make something ahead of time. Or you can always add more rosemary in here and you can intentionally kind of bruise up the herbs a little bit and mix it up to extract that flavor and aroma a little bit quicker than just letting it sit in the fridge overnight. Luckily, because I've already done all of this ahead of time, we have already infused this whipped cream. But if you are just now infusing your whipped cream, I'll see you in like 12 to 18 hours, okay? Okay, so let's say it's been 12 to 18 hours, where all you have to do is go ahead and scoop out the rosemary sprigs. So you can get just like a regular tablespoon, or you can get like a little slotted spoon as well. I like to save these sprigs for later. You can still infuse different things with them, or you can use it as like a fun little garnish. That's always a possibility too. So definitely don't waste them. So yeah, so now this is all done. We're so excited. So now it's literally all you have to do is whip it up. This is the best part, is like opening up that airtight container of the infused whipping cream and just smelling it. Let's see what it smells like. Ah. If you're anything like me, you may be stuck on this step for quite some time. It just smells subtly sweet. It smells like you're walking through an herb garden. I mean, it smells like rosemary, just like a subtly sweet rosemary with like a hint of that delicious bourbon barrel aged maple syrup. This is a whole lot of fun. You may be stuck on this step for a while, but remember, we're turning this into some delicious whipped cream. So let's get to the next step. It's the fun part. So we're just gonna whip this up. You're welcome to do it by hand if you want to. I just use our trusty hand mixer. It's gonna whip up super, super fast. The kind of consistency you want is gonna be somewhat of a personal preference. I would say you don't want it to be runny, of course, but hello, it's snow, right? So you want just like subtle snowy peaks, and then you'll know you're done. All right, let's do this. Doing a little check here. We're starting to get those peaks, but it's not quite there yet. We're gonna keep going. There we are. This is pretty much where we wanna be. Okay, how good does this whipped cream look? This is just super good. You should absolutely taste all of your ingredients before you put them in, right? So feel free, let's give it a taste. Whipped cream is so good. I could just eat whipped cream with a spoon, which is, I guess, exactly what I'm doing right now. So good. So the flavor is spot on. We've got that subtle maple sweetness. We have just like the little pine essence that we're getting from the rosemary. So you've got the earthiness and you've also got the subtle sweetness from the maple and the rosemary just dancing together, which is awesome. Maybe we should say skiing together since they're actually going up the snow cap, right? Okay, the whipped cream is done. So now all we have to do is compile all this stuff together into our delicious snow cap. Okay, so now you just get whatever glass of your choice. The rest of this, it's all downhill from here. All down the ski hill, I should say. So we're just gonna fill this up with ice. Now we're moving on to the next couple of steps. This is the point where it's still a little bit fun. I add a little bit of that sparkle, pour a splash of the chilled Pellegrino just at the bottom here, okay? This is the one, you got a little bit of the bubbles. It's just gonna help some of the flavors. Sparkling water, I find, really enhances a lot of the flavors in the cup. This is a step you could miss if you're a little scared of it. That's okay, but I highly recommend giving it a try in actually a lot of some of like your fun coffee mocktails that we do. Okay, next step is one of our star ingredients, of course, which is gonna be our cold brew concentrate. And then make sure you leave enough room for the snow, which is like my favorite part, although I realize I keep saying it's like, oh, this is my favorite part because I love all of these ingredients. It's one of the things I love the most because all you do is get your favorite flavors, your favorite ingredients, and find which ones really work well together. So now all we need to do is top our delicious cold brew concentrate, and we're gonna top it with our awesome rosemary infused snow. We're just gonna dollop it on there. Let's get this a little bit closer so you guys can really enjoy what this looks like. Oh, look how good that looks. So adorable. Now, the only thing that we're missing is some garnish. You gotta garnish it, right? So that's where I save a little sprig of rosemary and we just put it there off to the side. So there you have it. That's the snow cap. It's super simple and easy, right? It's just basic ingredients. We've got rosemary, we've got Pellegrino, we've got cold brew concentrate, and we've got some heavy whipping cream infused with our maple syrup for a little touch of sweetness. That's really all it takes. And this is gonna be refreshing, but also super reminiscent of the holidays and of the winter, you know, aromas and smells that we really, really love. Let's try this. Ah, it's so good. This is so good. Here's another fun little fact. You can use our fun little garnish as like a spoon. So good. I may need a straw to consume this. If I get whipped cream on my nose, will you tell me? There's nothing better than coffee and whipped cream just all over your face, right? Is it all over my face? It's fine. Okay, so there you have it. It is one of my favorite coffee mocktails. It is the snow cap. Super delicious, super simple to make. Honestly, you can have it all year round, whether there's snow on the ground or not. This is something to really, really enjoy. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun videos just like this one. All right, here we go. Let's get whipping. That's a horrible thing to say. Okay. So good. Hey, thanks for watching. It was so fun hanging out. Make sure you see the space over there. Make sure you hit that Redhead space so that you can like and subscribe so you don't miss another video. See you soon.